everyone. Welcome to Mommy Needs a Break. It is a podcast for new moms who don't have it all together, because guess what? We ain't got it together, and that's okay. My name is Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop everywhere.
And I'm Marisa Johnson, as she is Marisa J. Make sure to follow Mommy Needs a Break podcast at MNAB Podcast on all platforms. Make sure to also check out our website, mnabpodcast.com, and join our Patreon for $3. And you will get exclusive content from us, giveaways. What else do we got, Megan? Reviews, product reviews.
Behind the scenes stuff that we don't show everybody, just for you guys on Patreon. So make sure you join. Well, today's episode, we're discussing farting in front of your hubby, breastfeeding help, and more. But first, you see our beautiful guest. She is a wife. She's a first-time mommy to be, and she's a founder of Bosswoman Media. Everybody give it up for Marty McDonald. Woo! Welcome, Marty.
Thank you guys so much for having this amateur on the show.
Girl, boo. Okay, you're a boss. You are looking, first of all, you look fabulous pregnant.
Thank
okay?
you.
Fabulous. Your hair,
Glowing.
your skin, everything. Bomb. How many weeks are you, by the way?
27.
Ooh. How are you feeling? You good? Tired?
Yeah, I'm just tired from life. Like, I'm tired from 2020. I'm tired from COVID-19. I'm tired from being in a cocoon in my home.
Girl.
But it's, 2020 has been such an interesting year.
Yes.
It's been good. It's actually been really, really good to me. So I feel good. I mean, we're so excited. We cannot wait to welcome our baby into this world, and we get to welcome her into a world where she gets to see herself in leadership and possibility.
Yes.
Through our new vice president. So I'm excited. We're thrilled.
Well, we are excited as well. We can't wait to see the pictures of your baby. When your baby comes.
Hey, Marty, I actually wore for you my boss pin.
Oh, I love it.
I was like, wait, I have to wear it today in honor
Yes.
Yes.
Boss moves. I love it.
Boss moves. Well, we got some Ain't No Shame today. What's going on, Marisa?
Yes. Oh my goodness. So I was actually, this is embarrassing. It has nothing to do with my kids. Well, actually it kind of does. So yesterday I took my 8-month-old off of formula a while ago. And so she's drinking hemp milk now. And her farts are like terrible. It's awful. And so yesterday I was like, dang, Ernest's farts stink. And so I was like yours? And I was like, I don't fart. Like, I don't fart in front of you. What are you talking about? He's like, you were farting last night. I was like, you weren't even in the bed last night. What are you talking about? He's like, Marisa, you were farting. I was like, no, I wasn't, Earl. He was like, Marisa, ain't no shame in that, okay? It's ain't no shame. And I was like, he's like, you should use that on your podcast, actually. Ain't no shame in farting, Marisa, in front of your husband. And I was like, I don't fart in front of you, okay? Like, I know I don't. I know I don't do it in my sleep. I just know I don't do that. So.
What? Why are you so ashamed? Girl, farting is natural. You better let that go.
I just know I consciously don't do it in front of him. If I have to use the bathroom, I'll go upstairs if he's downstairs. Like, it's uncomfortable. Like, I need to be comfortable.
How
I don't
long
want
have
you
y'all been
listening.
married?
4 years.
Oh, okay. Stay married a little longer.
I'm engaged for what? We've been engaged 2 years now, 3 years, almost 3 years. And I will tell you, he got them farts at the beginning. I was like, you need to know, okay? The door's open when I poop, everything. You need to know.
I can't. And it's not even just him. It's like anybody. It's just like, and I mean, I'm comfortable. Like, he's seen his whole 2 kids come out of my body. It's not like that. It's just, I just don't know.
Do you fart in front of anybody though? Like your sisters, nobody?
No.
Okay, well.
It's just like, I gotta get with he does. I mean, he has no care in the world of, who's around or he's sitting on me, whatever. It's like, just let it out. But he told me not to be ashamed of my
You shouldn't. Do it,
sleep
girl.
farts.
Do your farts, okay? I'm telling you, do your farts. You will get sepsis in your blood, okay? I don't even know if that's true, but you'll get sepsis. I'm gonna say that. Toxicity all in your body if you don't let them farts out when they gotta be let out.
That's funny.
Marty, did you like fart and poop in front of your man from the jump, or were you like, okay, let me ease into this?
No, not from the jump, but like being pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Everything changes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm not like a farter anyways. So, but if I have to, I'm gonna let it out. But I'm not one of those people. I'm not gonna do it in front of other people. Like I'll go to another room.
Right. That's
I will, or I'll act like I didn't do it. I'm not gonna lie, okay?
I grew up in the South. I'm a Southern girl.
You got manners.
Right.
That's funny. So that's my no shame, guys. That's awful.
Ain't no shame. All right, let's do some mommy tips. So today I have some nursing tips. Just because I feel like there was a lot of things people did not tell me when I had a baby, and I had to kind of learn on my own. Marty, do you plan on breastfeeding, or are you like, I don't want that?
No, I definitely plan on breastfeeding. I cannot wait to get these orangutans off of my chest.
Girl.
Because they are so heavy.
Yes.
And so I am definitely breastfeeding. But you hear all of these crazy stories about it, right? Like the baby doesn't latch on, or how much time it takes, or how the kid is so attached to you, you know? And here's my thing. This is what I have come to the conclusion. Everybody has an opinion about what they want for you to be as a mom to your child. I'm going to be the best mom I can be that my child needs me to be, based off of what her needs are. Yeah. Not based off of what everybody else's preconception of what I'm supposed to be. So I'm just really just trying to stay focused on that. And I mean, it's so different than like when my mom had me, right?
Yep.
And so you're trying to get mommy advice from a mom who had a kid 30 years ago.
Right.
Just wait.
It just doesn't even make sense.
Your mama gonna tell you everything, okay? You're gonna get to the point where you just look at her like, I'm done. I love you, but I'm done. Stop talking to me. That's so serious, and it's real, because, you know, at the end of the day, God bless you with that baby. You have the instincts to do what you need to do. I know for me, I was so set on breastfeeding. I wanted to breastfeed I'm talking about, I had so many issues at the very beginning. First of all, Mav tore my nipples up in the first 2 days he was born. Like, we hadn't even left the hospital, okay? And my nipples was down to the white meat, because I had and you would think like, okay, they sent the lactation consultant. I had read all the books, read all the articles, but I just wasn't getting it. I just, I didn't latch them right. So he had ripped me up from the jump. And so I think like 2 days later, when you have to like leave and come back in 24 hours after you've had the baby, just for their first checkup, he wasn't really peeing, which means he wasn't getting a lot of fluids. And so they sent me directly to the lactation consultant. She like pumped me for 30 minutes and was like, hey, so you have a condition where you don't make a lot of milk. And I had never heard, and she had been like this lactation consultant for like 60 years. Okay.
Was it the black woman at Kaiser?
Yes, it was. A little Jamaican lady with the stockings, girl.
Yes.
This old lady, right? And she was like rude. Okay. But she knew her stuff, because she's been around for a while. And she was just kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to have to get you a hospital grade pump. Because of your condition, you don't make a lot of milk. And so I felt so defeated, like that's all I wanted. I can't even feed my kid. I got to give him formula now. And so then I decided that I was just going to exclusively pump, and I wish somebody had told me what that meant. Exclusively pumping takes up all of your time, because you have to sit down, you have to pump, then you still have to feed the baby, and then you still have to wash the pump parts in addition to any bottles. Like it's just, and then you got to do it all over again in a couple hours. It's so isolating. It takes up a lot of time. It's not fun. And had I known it was that like time intrusive, and I probably would have, and I was scared to put Matt back on my boob because my nipples was like tore up. I should have tried again once, maybe like in a couple of weeks, a week or two after he was born. I should have put him back on my boobs, because another thing people don't tell you is that pumps don't suck you like a baby does. Okay. Even the best ones, they don't clean you out. And so you are more susceptible to getting clogs and having infections. I had mastitis twice. And so I wish somebody had told me these things, because then I probably would have been like, okay, let me try to put him back on my breast. But I was just so like, no, I don't want that to happen again. Your boobs, your nipples gonna be sore for a couple weeks. Okay. It's new. Ain't nobody tugged on them like that. But after that, you should be fine. And so one thing that I want to say is for new moms out there, two things. If you're already leaking colostrum while you're pregnant, go ahead and save that. I was telling Marisa, you remember Marisa? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Remember I told you, I was like, hey, Marisa, if you're leaking colostrum, like save it, because you can give that to the baby you was leaking like from the jump. And I was,
Wow.
and if you're leaking, Marty, save that, put a little spoon on it, save that, put it in, freeze it, because every little bit, I mean, when your baby's first born, they don't drink that much anyway, but the colostrum is so like nutrient heavy. This is great for them. And if you already got it, give it to them. And so, even at, you can even pump a little bit once you are within your like full term range, because they don't, doctors tell you not to play with your boobs too much because they can induce contractions. So, but until then, if they leaking, girl, scrape that up with a little bowl freezer.
That's interesting.
It is. And it's so like, I didn't know that. I wasn't leaking anything. So I wish I had known that, because I probably would have just been like, come on, little boobies, let's see what you got in here. So that's one thing. If you are leaking colostrum, save it. It's good. It's good to go. The other thing is, if you plan to nurse or you need nursing help, there's a really good, Instagram page called Milky Mama LLC. It's Black owned. She has so many good tips on there, from like, what if there's blood in your milk when you pump, or what if your nipples are cracked, or like, just so many things that I didn't even know. But Milky Mama LLC on Instagram is a great tool, Black owns. Check it out.
Oh, I'm about to go follow her now.
Girl, yes, seriously. I really would. And I didn't even know about her until maybe like 4 months in, and I was like, at this point, I done had all these issues. Why ain't nobody tell me this?
Your next baby, Megan. Your next one.
The next one. There
Your
we
next
go.
one.
Well, let's talk about you, Marty. So first of all, congratulations again on your pregnancy. How'd you even find out that you were pregnant?
It wasn't dramatic over here. It wasn't dramatic at all. We have been trying to get pregnant for such a long time. Me and my husband have been married for 10 years. And so I would say the last like 3 to 4 years, we've really been trying to get pregnant. And so we're what grown-ups do, You're like, oh.
Anytime.
So I took a pregnancy test.
Okay. Question. When you were, did you go to see doctors in those 3 or 4 years that you guys were trying? Or was it like, we'll just wait and see?
No, I didn't go see. I mean, I went to go see my OBGYN to see, okay, is there something wrong? And I had fibroids. And so I had one of the fibroids removed. And then, but nothing else was detected to be wrong. Right. It was just like a matter of time, really. But so I didn't go see like in vitro doctors or IVF special or anything like that. We hadn't really gotten to that point. But I know people who do go that route. And then you hear the stories of people who, they're like, I got totally wasted and then I'm pregnant,
Like, dang.
I mean, we've been at home since March, so
right.
Plenty of
COVID,
time to
baby.
practice.
COVID-19.
Nothing else
One
to do.
of my friends was saying, she was like, the only people that are getting pregnant during COVID don't have no kids, because if they did, they wouldn't be trying to have no more right now.
Right.
That is
And I was
true.
like, and you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait, everybody I know that has gotten pregnant, they ain't got no kids. This is a first baby. Like, oh, okay.
That is true. And I know everybody that I know is pregnant right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
I mean, like, from people who I work with to people who like our PR like everybody that I know is pregnant right now.
It's about to be a
couple
whole
months to COVID.
Yes.
And everybody
Drinking.
that I know is having a girl. Everybody I know is having a girl. So crazy.
It's the water. It's that water.
You know what? That's good, because I want to say, like, I feel like when my son was born in 2018, that was like the year of the boy, because all of my friends were having boys. And now it's like year of the girl. Like, I feel like every year it just switches.
Yeah.
Oh, Marty,
don't put that on me.
Right. Marty, do me a favor. Can you tilt your screen down just a hair? There we go. Okay, perfect.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. So how has it been juggling, the pregnancy and the business? You're a busy woman.
Yeah.
So how have you been juggling morning sickness?
Well, when this summer, when I was like in my first trimester, I thought I was gonna die. Like, I was just like, who does this? Like, this is crazy. But I had to like dig deep inside of myself. I would like get on Zoom calls and be like, oh, hi. I'm thinking, oh, I cannot wait for this is over with.
Yeah.
And I filmed 2 large events while I was pregnant. People didn't know I was pregnant. I hadn't even announced I was pregnant. I had Black Girl Magic, which had like 17,000 women attend it. It was a 2-day event. We had 50-something plus speakers. It was crazy. And when I was filming it, I just felt, just the worst. But then when I got on that camera, I was like, hi, hey girl, hey. No. And then,
first of all, you did such a good job. I didn't even know you were pregnant.
Oh my God, yes. And then I just wrapped our last program for the fall called Home Hustlers. We filmed it probably about 2 months ago. I was starting to feel a little bit better, but it's just some days where you just feel pregnant,
Yes.
And then other days where you're just like, I feel fine, like I can do stuff. But it's been interesting. I will say this, and one of our speakers told me this, and I just thought this was really good advice. Her name is Denise Vossi. She said, you want the world to slow down when you're pregnant. You want the world to be calm and still when you're pregnant, because you're bringing something into this earth. She was like, so this is the best time ever to be pregnant, because the world is not moving so fast.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
I was like, that's really good. Because at first I was like, all I do is sit in the house and, I'm just working, I'm on calls, but I can't go anywhere. I really can't do anything. But so this stillness has really been a blessing for me to just get my body prepared for our blessing that, God has given us. And so I'm so excited. I mean, we're under 90 days.
Yes.
Left, so
you're in the home stretch, girl.
I'm excited.
The home stretch. I'm telling you, I loved being pregnant. I loved it to the point where I was like, now look, little baby, if you want to stay in here past 10 months, cool. Like, you welcome to stay in here. But at some point I was like, I know you got to go. I know y'all are like, no. I loved it though. Pregnancy, I love the free stuff. I love people getting up out your way. Here, have this seat. Here, take this. Here, go in the front of the line. Yes.
See, here's another interesting thing. Like, I felt like I just started showing also.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, some people get pregnant and they're like, really show? And I'm like, I just kind of look, I'm fat. Like,
I know.
But people say after your first baby, like your uterus like gets bigger and like you really show on your second kid or whatever. But I am happy that we got pregnant. We're praying for a healthy baby to bring into
Amen.
this world. But just like being pregnant.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hate being pregnant. I hated it. And to your point, it's like I was talking about the other day. I was like, wow, I always work until like right before I have the kid, you know. I was looking at last year's pictures. I was like putting on a whole concert in the club, pregnant, loud music, speakers, and I was like, damn, like what was I thinking about? Like, why
Right.
did I think that was so important? You know,
Yes.
but we're just so used to it going.
Yeah.
I have to be there, have to do this, I have to do it, you know. So I think you're right. This is the perfect time to get pregnant for me, but for all those who want to be.
No, that's real though. When you said that, Marisa, I was thinking like I remember my son. I took maternity leave like a week before my due date. Right, I was like, okay, I'll have like a week where I could just chill and kind of get everything in order. Maybe he'll be a day or two early or late, whatever. It's fine. Literally, Friday was my last day. That baby came out Monday, and I was like, really, bro, you didn't give me no time. Like worked up until the last moment. You know what I mean? And so it's important to, I want to ask you, Marty, with entrepreneurs, because Bosswoman Media is all about that. How do entrepreneurs take maternity leave, or can an entrepreneur take maternity leave? Like, what is the process for that?
I mean, you can if you have a staff, if you have a team. I think for me, as I'm prepping and planning for it, it's me getting the right people in place so that I can. And what I'm realizing is that I don't have to say yes to everything to happen while I'm about to have the baby. I have the freedom to push things out, to say, hey, we're going to execute this at this time frame, right? And so me just being really intentional about what I'm saying yes to, how I'm planning 2021, but also getting the support that I need. If I
Yep.
have to get a nanny, that's what I'm gonna have to do to help me, or if I need to hire an additional person on my team
Yep.
to do more. I just think that you have to plan for it. It's not something that you're like, you have a business, like this is my livelihood. So I have to prep and plan for it. Just like if I was working anywhere else and they would be planning for what they were going to do in the interim when I'm out, right? So I'm just taking the same type of approaches to it. And obviously, my maternity leave through my business is going to be, months on months. But once I kind of get the flow going of what we're supposed to be doing, how the baby reacts to everything, then I'll adjust accordingly when I start, when I come back to work full time. But I know me also, and like I've created this business. I'm not gonna just let it. I'm not gonna just not do anything.
Yeah, that's your baby too. Shoot.
Right.
Yes.
So what is Boss Media? Like, how was it founded? Can you tell us a little background about it?
Bosswoman Media is an offline, online women's empowerment community and media company. We create experiences for women to connect through the lens of brands. Specifically, right now, all of our experiences are digital experiences. So we just ended a 4-week digital series called Home Hustlers, where we gave women the opportunity to learn how to create a business from their home while in COVID-19. And at the end of the 4 weeks, they get a chance to win $5,000 in a pitch competition. And we teach the women how to pitch, etc. And so, it was started for two reasons. One, because I was a woman who was working in corporate America who wanted to have a community. I didn't want to be I was a part of so many like networking groups, but didn't look like me. It was super stuffy, didn't feel like me. So I wanted to create a space where I knew women were experiencing the same challenges that I was going through in corporate, but I also didn't know if corporate was the right direction for myself for the rest of my life. And so it was formed out of my own necessity. And it just has evolved so much based off of the stories that we hear from women. I love to story tell, and I love to share the stories of women who have really created nothing to something. And so that's what we do. We highlight women who are doing just that to inspire and motivate our community to see that they can do the same. And when you see another woman who looks like you, it gives you hope. It gives you possibility.
Yep.
It motivates you. And so that's really what our premise is, and to connect women together, because you can do it alone. But when you have a connection of other women around you, the journey is just so much better.
It is. That is so true. To make it like when you were talking about like how in corporate America, you're like, I'm a part of these different groups that were so stuffy. I'm like, girl, you're bringing me back to my corporate days and reminding me why I was like, I got to go do something else. I got to do something on my own.
Yes.
What gave you the confidence to leave your corporate job after 8 years and say, okay, now I can do this?
It was really me just taking the risk and betting on myself. This is going to sound really, really crazy, but I'm not really afraid of a lot of things. Like, fear isn't something that's like natural for me. And so I am not afraid to put myself out there or to try something new. And how I know it is because I recently experienced fear in something. And I was like, that's what fear feels like. Because I had not even identified with the emotion of fear.
Wow.
Which I think is why I was able to just say, hey, if this doesn't work out, I can always go back.
Yep.
I have education. I have skills. Like, people are hiring every day.
Right.
So that was really why.
I think that's interesting that you say you don't have any fear, because I think that has a lot to do with a child's upbringing and as they're as they grow up. Because I look at my daughter and I see so much of myself in her, except she's so free. Like I don't feel like I grew up free and able to just explore and experience certain things. I've always had that fear or doubt or question myself, especially, stepping out from corporate to being an entrepreneur. But when I look at our daughter and the fact that she watches us work and be entrepreneurs and kind of live this free life, it shows so much in her, And so I think that's beautiful that you have that, because your child will have that as well. The fearlessness to explore whatever they want. So I thought that was interesting.
That's good. That's good.
But you brought up Black Girl Magic. You threw a phenomenal event.
Yes. So first of all, let's take a moment to just do this.
Yes.
Okay, you were pregnant and you did that, girl. You did that.
And it was the first event that I saw, during COVID-19. I think there was a lot of Zoom and things like that, but the marketing, the thought behind it, the branding behind it, the communication during the event was phenomenal. Like,
thank you.
Amazing. And it was actually the first event I did after having my baby.
Okay.
I was so scared. I was so nervous, like leading up to it. I was like, what am I going to talk about? I haven't talked for like almost a year. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But after meeting the other women and just like hearing their stories, I was like, oh, I know how to do this. This is easy.
Yeah.
So I just want to first and foremost thank you for throwing that, because it made me I feel like I got my voice back again after the baby. And I was like, oh yeah, I do this. I forgot.
Yes.
Because we forget, after we have our babies. But how important was it for you to have such an impactful event at a time like this? There was a lot going on when that happened.
So much going on.
So much going on.
Yeah.
So how did you push through and put that together?
Well, I had I had the pressure of sponsors on me, right?
Mm,
Like I wanted to deliver to them what I knew our community needed and what they hadn't seen before, created by a woman who looks like me. So
Mm-hmm.
that
yeah.
was really first and foremost very important for me, right? And then secondly, our community deserved better, more than just a Zoom. Like
Right.
we deserved a production,
Yeah.
Right.
and
Right.
so for me, I did research. I went from I was going weekend to weekend, from conference to conference to conference, taking notes and looking at what other people were putting together and what people were charging
Right.
tons of money to put together. And so that was one reason. And then another reason is that when Black women show up for each other, it's such a, I mean, it's something that you can't even explain. It's so powerful. It's so unique. And so from the time that we wanted to ship the boxes out and them feel like they had a swag bag delivered at the
Mm-hmm.
front step of their home, to the communication, to the opportunity to say, hey, we're not just going to do this event, we're going to give away $50,000 in pitch dollars to the woman who submits her pitch. We're going to bring A-list speakers to you. All of it was super intentional of what we deserve. And
Right. Right.
so I think that the conversations have started to change at companies too. I mean, this
Yeah.
is
Mm-hmm.
post George Floyd. I'm planning while the George
That's
Floyd
crazy.
murder happened.
Yeah.
And I'm having conversations with companies who don't really know what to do or how to be heard or seen or how to show up. So I wanted to showcase what happens when we do show up. When women who are making money, right? Women who are creating and establishing themselves. Women who have created fabulous businesses. Women who are sitting at seats at tables. They deserve this. And so really that was the motivation behind it. It was supposed to be a 7-city tour,
Mm.
and we were kicking it off the weekend after everything closed down in March. March
Wow.
17th was our first date. And so we just had to push and maneuver from going to 7 cities. And really, we hit, we were in 45 states and 31 countries.
Wow.
Man, look,
Wow.
7
That
cities
was
to that.
Right.
Yes, that is a
Wow. That is
blessing.
amazing. That is. I was in my kitchen dancing to the DJ. I was like, I had my wine. This is so
Yes.
much fun. And I still haven't even seen an event like that yet,
Yeah.
you know. So congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you did that, and the fact that you were in your first trimester when this happened,
Yes.
girl. I remember I played a. You remember the event I did, Marisa, Squad Live? That was my
Oh
first
yeah.
trimester, and I will tell you, any woman who does anything big of that caliber in your first trimester of pregnancy means you are superwoman, and you can do anything in the world, and nobody, not even a man, better tell you what you can do. You have planned an event in your first trimester. Okay, that is enough.
Listen, I receive all of that.
Okay, so your next event, which you said you just did, the Home Hustlers, sponsored by Square. Tell us about that and why you said, okay, I've done the Black Girl Magic and now I'm going to do Home Hustlers. What was the thought process behind that?
What we saw from Black Girl Magic was that all of the women who were in Black Girl Magic, I would say about 86% of them worked in corporate, but they were
Mhm.
trying to figure out how to navigate all of this time that they had right now because they're working from home into their side hustle.
Mhm.
And so we were like, okay, let's deliver content for them that will
Right.
help them take this side hustle and really create a robust business out of it.
Hmm. And so, what was your feedback from people? What would you say after the event? How did people receive it?
Yeah, Home Hustler. So we just ended last Saturday. So the feedback has been everybody, you know, it's interesting because everybody learns at different stages, but probably our most popular week has been around the stack your coins and the financial literacy and tools, because oftentimes women are so ingrained in what it looks like, what it feels like, but sometimes we forget we have to make money.
Yeah.
Too. And so,
Oh, yeah.
Bringing them back and giving them and hearing stories of women who are saying, "Hey, I have a 7-figure business, but it didn't start this way.
Right.
And this is how I've done that." I think has been really eye opening for the women of saying it's bigger than an Etsy shop. Think bigger. Think how you're going to create bigger, how you're going to scale, and how you're going to make money doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I think too often, I mean, I'm sure this has been a topic in a lot of events that you've had, but shortening, our worth and not asking for what we deserve. I remember, like when you talk about your salary in corporate, it's kind of like, you're not supposed to do that. But I always used to tell people what I made when they asked me. I was like, "Oh, I make this." Like, "What? You make this?" Like, "Yeah, I just asked." I just researched what the position was, and I asked for the highest, and I land somewhere in the middle. It's that easy. But as women, we're so intimidated by the dollar and the amount, and our counterpart might be making double that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we have to speak up and we have to demand what we feel we're worth.
Absolutely.
And if you don't feel like you're worth it, you probably shouldn't be doing it because you're shorting yourself. So I think that's super, super important. But you talk about corporate sponsors and you do everything on a large scale. What are a few tips you can give entrepreneurs who are looking for corporate backing, and kind of the first step they can take towards that direction?
I would first say, especially right now, like being Black is a hot commodity right now.
It's so hot.
So find the companies who are backing and putting statements out saying that they want to invest into the dollars of the minority community, and then figure out what those initiatives are that they're doing and how will you add value to them through a pitch, right? So, I mean, it's going to take research, especially when you don't know anyone, right?
Yeah.
Sponsorship begets sponsorship, right? Like once you get a sponsor and it's the right sponsor and it's the big sponsor, it begets more sponsorship. But if you're just in the beginning, you've never had a sponsor before, and you're looking to figure out, okay, how do I get one? You're going to have to do research. You're going to have to stalk people on LinkedIn, and you're going to have an incredible pitch deck that speaks for itself, even if you never get to present it out loud to someone. That's really customized based off of what that company is looking to do and how you can make impact for them.
Right. And I'll add on to that because I've been working with a few people at a few companies, and a lot of people in these roles right now, they are really trying to help people. I had a deck and one woman was like, "Okay, I know what they're looking for. I need you to put this, 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 and this." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." It's just like, wow, it was a blessing because they want to see us, push forward. And there are a lot of people in the community roles, the partnership roles that do look like us right now. They're hiring a lot of those. So they are looking out for each other, and I've experienced that where they're like, "Hey girl, just put this, add this, move this here, and I'm going to submit it for you." Like, okay, thanks. So people are trying to help right now. And this is like a really good time to jump on getting those coins.
Yeah,
I agree.
And on the flip side of that, I want to say, because I feel like sometimes, because a lot of us are new to, pitching, especially, of this caliber, trying to get a corporate sponsor for the things we're trying to do. I want to reiterate what you said, Marty, which is do your research. Don't send nobody no half-assed, punctuation wrong, stuff missing on your deck, because the worst thing you can do is put yourself forward in an unfit light. And that's not fair. You know what I'm saying? You might have a great product. You might be a perfect fit for this company, and somebody gets in and goes, yeah, that ain't how you spell there. So, and you
Right.
don't want that to be your downfall. So that is
I
a
hired a
huge important.
copywriter to relook at mine. I was like, oh, let me hire this copywriter. It was $500, but it was like, I need them to thoroughly look over this before I start sending this out to people. Like, if you know you're not good at something, invest in yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody knows how to do it, you know?
Yep. And
Absolutely.
Fiverr. I mean, you
Oh,
can hire
yes.
anyone off of Fiverr.
Yes. Yes.
Look, yes, Fiverr. For those of you who are like, what is it? FIVERR.com. Look it up. It's great and very low rates, by the way.
Yeah.
So Marty, you got the baby coming, you've got the business, you've got so much happening. What's next for Bosswoman Media?
Yeah. So 2020 is going to be, a year where we continue to create digital platforms, but we also connect with our community in person. So we'll go back and start having live events Q3, Q4 of 2021. We have some exciting things in the works of how we continue to tell the stories of women. So you might see us on a national TV network. So keep your eyes out for us, but we're really excited about continuing to empower, inspire, and evoke change in our community.
That is
I like
beautiful.
it.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Marty.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
So we have one more segment. It's called I'm Fine. It's our segment where we like to leave you with a little inspiration. Oftentimes women and moms, mostly moms, you ask them how they're doing and they say they're fine, but they're really not. So we like to leave you with a little something. Today, this quote is by a woman we have the pleasure of knowing. Her name is Marty. Don't allow perfect to be the enemy of good. And I thought that was so crazy when I read it. I was like, damn. And like you said, we want things to look pretty. We want things to be perfect. I have this problem. My husband probably wants to choke me. Like, Marisa, we have to make money. It doesn't have to look perfect. But it's it happens with us. And I think it was a good reminder to look at that quote. Like, everything doesn't have to be perfect. Put your best foot forward, do what you can every day, and it will come together, So when I saw that, it hit me hard. If you want to elaborate on what you mean by that.
Oh yeah, because when I saw it, I was like, hold on, let me read this again. And then when I got it, I was like, oh, when I got it, I got it. I was like, okay. Because I work in content creation. And so there's so many times I have people ask me, they're like, I want to make YouTube videos or I want to do certain things, but like, I don't know how to start. And I'm like, you got a phone, just start. Don't worry about it being great and perfect. Just put it out there, because most of the content that you see on YouTube sucks. But these people have like millions of followers and they monetize that and they make a lot of money, not because their content is good, it's because it's consistent and it's out there. So just put it out there, because you'll learn and you'll get better as you go. But if you keep holding back, you'll never get that chance. So
That's so good.
Do it.
All of you guys, and I'm pretty sure all of you guys are familiar with Tabitha Brown.
Oh yeah, she's vegan.
Yes. Who captured me by her voice of just calmness. I was reading her story recently of how she started. Her husband moved to LA from one of the Carolinas in 2008 because she wanted to be an actress. And the story goes basically like anybody's story goes. She took a risk. She betted on herself. She failed. It didn't work out for her. She started doing more like Instagram, and then TikTok happened. And she got really consistent on TikTok. And the last year of her life has really transformed. I say that to say she just started, right? She didn't allow perfection to stop her, even when she failed. Now, this woman's life has completely changed.
Yep.
They have their own show on OWN. She's been cooking for Vogue in segments. I mean, completely a 360 shift. When your time is supposed to come of whatever your blow up moment is, it's not going to come because you started today. It's going to come because you started today and you were consistent every single day. And once you figure out what you're really good at, I believe that God places it for you. It doesn't have to be so hard where you're trying to wrap your head around, how am I going to be this, whatever you want to be? But instead, you're starting and you're doing the work. But you also have to leave a little bit of miraculous energy to be put into place for God to do what he's supposed to do, so that you're not allowing perfect to be the enemy of good.
Whew, Marty,
You better
made me
preach.
cry. I'm like,
Marty out here preaching.
Yeah.
Okay. I see you with your theology degree. Okay.
like,
I love it.
Oh no, that hit my heart. Like seriously,
Yes.
my husband's been like, I know he's like, okay, I know maternity. You don't have a real maternity leave, but our baby's like 9 months. But I'm gonna need you to come on. But it's always in my head, like, well, I don't have this. Well, wait, I need to find this person to do this, and I need to find this person to do that. It's like always something, telling me that I need more when really I know I don't.
You have exactly what you need for today. Do
Right.
exactly what you need to do. Don't worry about what you need tomorrow, because it's going to come tomorrow.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
World of
Bishop
love.
McDonald. Bishop
Oh,
McDonald.
no. Oh, no. I don't receive that.
She's like, no.
It's like, look, I got enough on my plate.
Yes. Well, it's been so great taking a break with you, and everyone watching or listening. We hope that you'll take a break with us again next week, because our shows are lit. We got a bunch of guests coming up, a bunch of mommy guests, daddy guests as well. Where can people follow you at, Marty?
You can follow us at Bosswoman Media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or my personal page at Marty Motivates. And you can go over to our website, subscribe to our email list, bosswomen.org.
Oh, yes. Bosswoman, we love it. And I am Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop everywhere. Make sure you, if you want any exclusive footage or giveaways, be sure to click our Patreon link and become a patron. You can do it for as little as like $3, y'all, okay?
And I'm Marisa. Follow me at She is Marisa J. Follow Mommy Needs a Break at MNED Podcast all over the internet. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.